Welcome back to my channel. If you've been watching me for a few weeks, you know that I have a trip to London planned. In fact, when this video goes live on Saturday, I'll just be a couple of days away from getting on a plane and heading to London. And my major opportunity there is Saturday the 25th at noon. I will be embarking on a 24-hour photo walk challenge with about 200 other photographers. As far as I know, I'm the only one dumb enough to fly from the United States, but hey, it's London. And we will go from noon on Saturday to noon on Sunday, pretty much nonstop. And at the end of the day, what I will walk away with is a t-shirt. I think that's a fair trade. So in this video, I want to talk just a little bit about the decisions I've made about packing. Now, when I went to Rome, I did a video, and it was about a 13 or 14 minute video on the gear I was taking and all that kind of stuff. And then, for some odd reason, I evidently only saved about 2.5 minutes of that video and uploaded that and thought I was done. And I've never corrected or replaced it. It's just there. It's just stupid. So hopefully the whole video this time will get up. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that because I am going to be walking pretty much nonstop for 24 hours, I really needed to pare back the equipment that I'm taking and really think through why I'm taking what I chose. And I think that I have pretty much come to that conclusion, but let me start by showing you where I started. So originally this was my plan. I would pack my camera gear in this bag and carry it on the plane. And then I would take this bag and I would also carry it on the plane, because if you remember, when I went to Rome, my checked baggage did not arrive. And so inside this bag would be my clothes, you know, a few extra things, pack my tripod in here, the Peak Design tripod, and other kinds of things. And then pack my camera and lenses in here with some of the other equipment. And then I would have these two items. And also within this bag here, like I did in Rome, I would put my sling bag in here that I would use to carry equipment around rather than this. And as I started packing, I realized that I'd only filled up half of the suitcase and I didn't need the suitcase. And so I came up with a plan B. Plan B involves this bag and my think tank sling bag. And I'm sorry for the loud noise there. I have a Peak Design clip on it. So in this bag, which I can carry on my back because it is a backpack, I have, and I'm not quite finished packing yet, but so I have my Peak Design tripod here and a strap that I bought so that I can sling it over my shoulder like the think tank and carry this with me where I go. And then figure out where the zipper's at. Inside the camera bag, this little pocket right here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see that in this video in this light or not, but this little pocket here at the bottom, that's all of my clothes. And the reason that I can get by with that is because I'm staying in an Airbnb with a washer and dryer. And so I bought some dry washing things that I can use. You just throw this in the washing machine to wash clothes. And so then up here in the top, I have some of my toiletries and you know, some other things like my L bracket that I'll use, and my rain jacket in case I need that, a few other things. So I've got everything packed. The only other thing I need to put in here as far as clothes go is another button-down shirt. I will take 2 shirts with me. And so I have everything here. Now, you say, well, Tim, that seems a bit extreme. Well, here's the reason for that. When first of all, on the way over, I have a 3.5-hour layover, and carrying this bag and dragging a carry-on just seemed to be excessive. On the way back, I have 2 layovers, and again, it just seemed to be excessive to be carrying this and dragging something else. And then when I get to London, I'll arrive about 9:30 in the morning or something. I can't check into my Airbnb until 3 or 4 o'clock that afternoon, which means I'm going to be walking the streets of London with a backpack and dragging a suitcase for hours on end. I did not want to do that. So I have everything packed in here to be able to carry on my back, and then I will have a limited amount of gear in the backpack itself. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go along. And this is what I will carry when I go around for the 24-hour photo walk, rather than my wandered roam, which would serve me really well, but I'm afraid it would over 24 hours, it would feel like it was too heavy. This, even when it has a couple of lenses in it, you don't really even feel the weight. So this was the choice that I made. So let's talk a little bit about those choices. Let's talk a little bit about those choices. So one of the things that I have to have, of course, is the Platypod. Now the Platypod does a couple of things for me. The Platypod will serve as a base for my DJI Pocket 2 that I will be using to take all the video, or at least most of the video with. And I have the do-it-all handle that goes on here to fit on here, so I can set this up pretty much anywhere and video me as I'm working on taking shots and make videos for this channel. The other thing that this does for me is I will have this with me for when I go into churches, cathedrals, museums, portrait galleries, anything indoors where I can put my camera on here with my wide-angle lens. And so this is a non-negotiable item for me. Now, as far as lenses go, I spent a lot of money on the RF 28-70 lens to take to Rome. And I used it a little, I did, but I didn't use it as much as I thought I would. And for this particular trip, I'm not taking it at all. My most expensive, highest performing lens, I'm leaving at home. And instead, what I'm taking is my 15-35. It has a circular polarizer on it, and I will use this both for some landscape photography, but mostly indoor photography where I want to get a broad vista of a church or a museum or whatever, and get those wide angle epic shots. I will have this lens with me. The other lens that I'm taking, of course, is the 24-240. Now I could have taken the 24-105, but I'm taking the 22-240 for a couple of reasons. If I want it for walking around town and getting closer into objects that are like tall buildings and things, something far away, I have it. But what I'm basically taking it for is skyline photography, early morning, late night photography, where I'm going to have it on a tripod. I don't necessarily need it to be an f2.8 lens. This one is f4 to 6.3, I think, or something like that. And so where I'll be shooting at f8 or f11 or even f16 most of the time, this lens will give me the biggest bang for my buck. And so these two lenses and the Platypod, along with the DJI, is what will be inside the sling bag while I am on my photo walk. But the bulk of the heavy lifting is going to be this little gem right here. This is my EFS 24mm crop sensor lens, and I have it on a Canon adapter to go from the EFS mount to the RF mount. And it's an f2.8. Now this is about a 35 to 37mm equivalent on a full frame camera. On a crop sensor camera. So I'm basically shooting a 35mm f2.8. This is the cheapest lens I own. I think I paid around $200 for this lens. But I took it out recently for a test drive. I'll put a few pictures up here of some of the things that I took downtown Chattanooga. And I have to say, this lens is sharp. And it will be probably what I take 90 to 95% of my photos with on this photo walk, is this little baby right here. And I will have it on my camera and on the sling bag, have it connected here at the Peak Design clip so that it's hanging off the front of me. Sorry, I just put my hand on my microphone. It's hanging off the front of me so that I can easily get to it when I want to take pictures, or I can just keep it in my hand and walk around with it that way, while these other items stay tucked away until I need them. And so I'm banking on the fact that I am traveling extremely minimally. And I think that it will work. We'll see. So as I'm walking around London taking some pictures, I have a couple of days before the 24-hour photo walk. I have one day after. I will take some pictures and probably post them in a video before the photo walk to see how this is going to work for me. But I am not a street photographer. And so this will take me out of my comfort zone, number one, by forcing me to get closer to people than I would have to get if I was using the 24 to 240 or the 24 to 105. I will have to be able to get in somebody's space if I choose to take a lot of pictures of people. I don't consider myself to be a street photographer. I consider myself more in this vein to be an urban photographer. I like to take pictures of buildings, of light and shadow, of interesting things that are along the street, of geometric shapes, odd signs, graffiti, those kinds of things. And people don't usually figure into my photography much, mainly because I don't like people that much. And so I'm hoping this is going to take me out of my shell. And here's the bottom line for me. If I come away from the 24-hour photo walk and I don't have one single picture I like, I at least gave it my college try and did the best I could. And like all things photography for me, it is really more about the experience than the final result. So keep watching the channel, because I'll have a few videos from London on here. I'll be doing a review of the Peak Design travel tripod while I'm in London. I'll probably be doing a little bit with the DJI Pocket 2 as far as explaining a little bit more about how I plan to use it in the future. And before we go, if you stuck around this far, I will say this. So I'm trying to figure out how to be more of an editor with video than just bumping down the saturation a little bit and bringing up the midtones, which is typically what I do. And so I am shooting this particular video on my Canon EOS R in Canon Log. And for those of you that don't understand what that means, basically it means that I'm shooting in a format much like raw picture files. It will come out of the camera very flat. And everything that's done with the video is something I will do with the video personally. So this video may suck visually, hopefully not so much audio-wise, but we'll see how that works, because it may be something that I want to start doing from here on out. And if I can pull it off, my son-in-law Dave will be very, very impressed. We'll see you next week.